The internet froze for a moment, not because of a scandal, but because of a single photograph. Two of BTS's most adored figures, Jin and Jungkook, were seen sitting side by side on a flight to Japan, a sight so unexpected that it sent shockwaves through the global fandom. The image, though grainy and unverified, was powerful enough to dominate every corner of social media within minutes. But what does this quiet, fleeting encounter truly signify? Was it a coincidence, a coordinated move, or something much deeper, perhaps symbolic of a chapter the world has been waiting to open? The photograph showed Jin, calm and composed, wearing a beige hoodie and a black mask, exuding his characteristic humility even amid chaos. Beside him sat Jungkook, focused, expression unreadable, his signature earbuds in place, gaze fixed out the window. There was no conversation captured, no gestures exchanged. Yet, somehow, the silence between them was louder than any performance they had ever given. Fans who witnessed the photo claimed the moment felt heavy, filled with meaning, like two constellations aligning after a long time apart. HYB's response was characteristically cautious. Both artists are traveling for personal and professional reasons, a spokesperson said, refusing to elaborate further. That only added fuel to the speculation. Could this be a prelude to a reunion? A quiet preparation for something monumental, perhaps a documentary, a recording project, or a symbolic reawakening of BTS as a group? The timing was impossible to ignore. Jin, having just completed his military duties, had barely stepped back into public life. Jungkook, meanwhile, had been riding the waves of his global solo career. Their paths crossing, not at an official event, but in such a quiet, intimate setting, seemed too perfect to be accidental. Could this be a private meeting with purpose, a silent gesture to remind the world that the bond of BTS remains unbroken? Eyewitnesses described the mood on the plane as serene yet charged. Jin leaned slightly toward the window, while Jungkook occasionally adjusted his headphones, subtle, human gestures that hinted at comfort and familiarity. There were no cameras, no stage lights, just two men sharing a space above the clouds. And in that stillness, fans found meaning. For a fandom that has watched BTS grow from hopeful trainees into global icons, this moment represented something sacred: continuity. When the plane landed in Tokyo, the image had already gone viral. Fans flooded X, TikTok, and YouTube with theories, some romantic, others practical, and a few wildly speculative. One popular thread suggested that this could be tied to a new BTS project quietly in development. Another proposed that the two were meeting with Japanese producers for an upcoming collaboration. Yet others argued it was simply a moment of friendship between brothers who had shared years of stage lights, sleepless nights, and unspoken understanding. Still, the bigger question remains: what do we really know? In a digital world where every moment is dissected, could this have been orchestrated, a calculated PR spark designed to reignite global interest before BTS's next collective move? Or was it simply real, unplanned, and deeply human? The fandom stands divided. Some interpret the image as proof of a rekindled unity among the members, a sign that something monumental is on the horizon. Others warn against overinterpretation, reminding fans that privacy is sacred and not every captured image hides a coded message. The truth, as always, seems to live somewhere between fascination and illusion. Across social media, the reactions have been emotional and raw. Seeing them together again feels like breathing after holding my breath for years, one fan wrote. Another added, "It's just a photo, but it feels like a promise." Yet skeptics were quick to raise concerns. Was this even authentic? Could the image have been edited, repurposed, or staged? This uncertainty leads us to an uncomfortable but necessary reflection. How much of what we consume online is truth, and how much is manufactured sensation? Are we witnessing reality unfold, or merely the illusion of connection crafted by an industry that understands the psychology of its audience better than ever before? Even if the photo were real, does it matter whether it was spontaneous or staged? For millions, it triggered memories of BTS's golden era, the tours, the laughter, the tears. It reawakened an emotion that no algorithm could fabricate. But it also exposed our collective vulnerability as fans and observers, ever hungry for fragments of authenticity in a world overflowing with spectacle. Hybe's silence remains telling. The company, seasoned in handling global media storms, seems to understand that sometimes silence fuels intrigue more effectively than any press statement. Their restraint keeps the narrative alive, a strategy both risky and brilliant. Every hour without confirmation or denial adds another layer of speculation, keeping BTS at the heart of cultural discourse. So, what really happened on that flight? Was it simply two bandmates sharing a quiet journey? Or was it the beginning of something larger, a whisper of reunion, a hidden message, a carefully choreographed spark meant to remind the world that BTS is far from done? Perhaps the truth lies not in the photo itself, but in our reaction to it. Our collective obsession reveals more about us than about them, our longing for connection, our nostalgia for a time when music felt like family, and our desperate need to believe that something genuine still exists in the glare of celebrity. As the world waits for answers, one thing is certain: this single photograph has reignited a global conversation. Whether real or orchestrated, it has reminded millions of why BTS continues to matter, not just as musicians, but as symbols of unity, resilience, and emotional truth. And so we ask you, do you believe this moment was real? Or was it a story crafted to keep the legend alive? Whatever your answer, remember this: every headline, every viral image, and every whisper deserves not blind faith, but thoughtful reflection. The image of Jin and Jungkook sitting together on a flight to Japan continues to ripple through the global internet like an emotional aftershock. Yet as the frenzy grows, an uncomfortable but essential question emerges: was this moment ever real? Or has it been carefully designed to make us believe in its authenticity? The line between truth and illusion has never been thinner, and perhaps that's exactly how those behind the narrative want it to be. When fans first saw the photo, it didn't just seem like a coincidence, it felt like a story. But whose story? Was it Jin's quiet return to the spotlight, Jungkook's loyal presence, or Hybe's subtle orchestration of media momentum ahead of something bigger? Could it be that what appears spontaneous is, in reality, a carefully measured spark meant to reignite public fascination at just the right time, as we scroll endlessly through TikTok clips, YouTube analyses, and Twitter threads dissecting every pixel of the photo? We must ask ourselves, are we consuming truth or merely fragments of a reality filtered through speculation and emotional bias? Many claim to have verified the image, pointing to flight manifests, fan sightings, and blurry airport footage. Yet none of this truly proves anything. The internet thrives on uncertainty. It feeds off half-truths and the seductive mystery of the unknown. A photo without context becomes the perfect breeding ground for theories, and in this case,